Here, as you can see, he's wrapped up there. Yeah, at 157 pounds. He's a redshirt junior from Lebanon, Ohio, and was 8-4 before his injury.
And it's good to see Danishek back on the mat for the Hoosiers.
And he's going to be taking on Shayne Oster, a true sophomore from Homer Glen, Illinois, who's 10-15 on the year, including 3-10 in duels. As Oster tries to go for the quick takedown, but Danishek able to use his head kind of as a pivot. But very, very quick there. He was almost put on his back there.
Danishek holding onto that leg for dear life to try to save, giving up a takedown here.
And Oster looked
unable to do it.
Oster looked like he's trying to repeat what they got out of Ryan Deacon, as there were a couple near shots at a pin as Danishek's back was kind of struggling. And there's going to be a 2-point takedown there for Oster.
Tough ask for Jake Danishek to come back from injury and have to face right in the meat of the Big Ten schedule. That's a really big challenge there for Jake Danishek.
Yeah, and especially against a guy like Shayne Oster, who's had a solid season thus far. He's only 10-15, but again, the talent he's gone up against has been really difficult, but he's been able to make it work at times.
Danishek tries a quick escape there, but Oster does a really good job to keep him back. But
and Danishek driving Oster. The crowd's getting wild, and he almost got him on his back, but good job escaping there by Oster.
That was a great reversal there from Jake Danishek to really swing all the momentum back in the match as he almost had the escape, but Oster did a really great job of getting him back to the mat momentarily, but then Danishek just released like a tiger out of himself. It's like, okay, I'm back, I'm healthy, I'm ready to roll with a huge reversal.
Yeah, we saw a huge burst of energy there out of Danishek, and it really got the crowd fired up too. They know what this means for Danishek, and he's been struggling with a shoulder injury all year.
Both wrestlers circling here. Oster trying to circle around to get the takedown. Danishek just trying to pull him out of bounds to get a reset here.
Danishek is a redshirt junior. He's had a lot of experience there for Indiana, as he is 15-11 as a redshirt freshman back in the 2015-16 season.
What an effort there from Oster to get that takedown. Danishek was doing everything he could to drag him out of bounds, but Oster literally picks up his foot and drags him back in, which also knocked him off balance, in addition to just keep him in bounds and just falls on top of him for a huge takedown to claim a 3-point lead going into the second period.
Yeah, great job there by Oster, really slowing down Danishek's momentum after that, as we get a look here at what you were describing from earlier.
He just picks up the foot, drags him back in, which forces Danishek to lose his balance real quick. And if Oster's able to win this match, that is probably the moment we're going to look at as the reason why, creating that extra 2 points of differential from Danishek and trying to just take control of the match.
Yeah, Danishek looked like he was in position to escape there and keep it at a 1-point game. And looks like a quick escape there for Oster as he keeps building on that lead. But like you saw before, Danishek was unable to escape from him as Oster was able to pull him back in.
As we saw Danishek have that burst of energy, he looks a little bit shell-shocked, honestly, after Oster was able to get that late takedown, and that's catapulted into an early escape, and now Jake Danishek's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Jake Danishek said he wondering, like, what more do I got to do here? Like, he's put on a pretty good showing thus far, despite the fact that he's trailing by 4. It just goes to show how well Oster is performing at this stage.
He's responding well right now. He's just close to getting a takedown. Needs to circle back and get control of the other leg, though. Danishek not showing any quit right now, which is really good to see from a guy back off of injury, but Oster trying to counter now.
Yeah, Oster, he's had a rough stretch thus far. He's lost each of his last 6 matches, including a couple of ranked opponents, and Kyle Langendorf of Illinois and BJ Klagen of Ryder.
So Oster gets the 2 points for the takedown again.
He looks to try and get his first victory of 2018, first time since defeating Brett Donner of Rutgers back on December 29th.
Wildcats have a 15-3 lead early on here in the 157-pound match.
I think in large part to 2 pins for the Wildcats. Courtesy of arguably their 2 best wrestlers in Rivera when he pinned Oliver, and Deacon over.
As we're going to get another challenger, you have to remember Deacon and Rivera, both redshirt freshmen, so they're going to be here for a while, and they're going to really just try to catapult Northwestern up with the Penn State's, Ohio State's, Michigan's, the class of the best conference in the country.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do if they're going to catch those powerhouses, but they're certainly on the right track as they built up a very strong recruiting class of late. As Danishek starts in the down position, tries to flip Oster off of him, but Oster doing a good job of keeping his position and bringing Danishek back to the ground. Danishek really having nothing going for him since the start of the second period, as Oster has really kind of figured out what to do with him.
Yeah, got to go back to that takedown at the end of the first period. Took the wind out of the sails for Jake Danishek, and he just hasn't recovered since then.
Yeah, it looked like he really had a great burst of energy there, and it looked for a moment there like he might pin Oster, but a good job by Oster turning around this whole match as we enter the third period, and he's built up an 8-2 lead. Good look there by Oster as he was able to flip around Danishek and able to get the takedown.
Yeah, Danishek needed to hold on to that leg, but let go of it for a split second, which let Oster get the 2 points.
And Danishek trying to start down again, but Oster not letting him go anywhere, keeping a firm grasp on him. Trying to ruin any shot of a feel-good story about Danishek's return here.
Yeah, there was that moment to take away there where he had the really nice reversal. There's something to build on for Jake Danishek moving forward, but nothing else is just really great for the Indiana team and the Indiana crowd to see him back on the mat at all.
Yeah, and the crowd, you could tell, was really looking forward to Danishek's return as they really got into it after his quick reversal that you mentioned before. But the way Oster has recovered from that, it's really kind of silenced the crowd. Now approaching 2 minutes in riding time is Oster over Danishek, as he's got both legs wrapped on another one as he tries to flip Danishek, who tries to escape there, but just cannot break the grasp. We're approaching 50 seconds to go, and Danishek doesn't look like he's going to be able to break out much there, as pretty strong grasp there by Oster. And Danishek able to get his leg out there and force a return to the center circle.
Danishek just trying to avoid a major decision at this point, trailing effectively by 7, as Oster's going to get that riding time point as well, as that's built up at about 2.5 minutes right now.
Yeah, and about 35 seconds left to go. There's really, the chance of victory is pretty much by the wayside at this point, as right now you're trying to avoid any further damage that Oster can deal.
Danishek almost had a quick escape there, though. Still showing some fight.
It's kind of been the story of the match, though, as Danishek looking like he had something there for a moment, but Oster able to snuff it out. So that time, he's able to force Oster's foot off the mat, out of the circle for the out of bounds, and return to the center circle.
Just 6 seconds left, so it looks like Danishek's going to avoid a major decision.
It looks like as long as he can prevent a takedown by Oster, that's what he's going for there, but Danishek able to keep position. As time winds down, looks like it's going to be another victory for the Northwestern Wildcats thanks to Oster here. As Jake Danishek, in his return, is unable to score a victory. And it's going to be another 3 points for the Northwestern Wildcats.